Douglas Bickford. It is the 14th of June 2021. Think big, you are more capable than you know. Never, never, never give up. I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I am not. And your attitude determines your direction. That's just some of the positive affirmations I have in my house. Those just happen to be on a wall right behind me there. This is the dining room. In fact, I'm sitting at the dining room table, and this is my, I don't know what you call those things. Anyway, and it goes out, and then the window, the front street, and the sidewalk is right there. This is my 100-year-old beautiful house. Okay, it's got all the original molding on the top of the ceilings. It's got rounded ceilings. It's got the original architecture from over 100 years ago. This house is 104 years old or something like that. It was built in 1917, 1917. And I paid cash for my house because I left a toxic relationship of 3.5 years. I married a narcissist, sociopath, codependent, and she was also a freaking psychopath, but she liked killing animals. Okay. She got off on it. She literally took a 308 and shot in the back of the head, point blank range. Goats, 3 of them, the very first year we were married. That was like in October of 17. And I started getting woke up to what she was. That was just one of the ways it's like, and then it wasn't that bad until she laughed about it with her friend. Oh, they splattered their heads all over the place. And I was like, I cringed. I was like, you're laughing about it. And her friend was over there. And her friend, her name was Kathy. And she was there when she did it. I was at work, okay, on a hot dog cart. And then her friend came over and they were drinking, okay. Well, I started drinking too, right? And then they started drinking, and then that's when she was laughing about killing, what their heads did when she shot them with a 308 in the back of the head. 3 of them. And they were like 6 months old. That started waking me up to what I had married into. And then that nightmare just got worse after that. It was like unreal. Anyway, so I got out of it. The Great Spirit, who I call God, got me out of it. In November 2nd, 2020, I absolutely left because she threatened to kill my cat. She'd already killed 2 of my cats. One she shot, which didn't even, I should have known. And not because of my low self-esteem, I let her do it. Okay. One she shot in the back of the head with a 22. The other one she let go out at night. I refuse to let my cats go out at night. Okay. And I told her that when I moved there. And then she got all mad at me because I was like, no, they're not going out at night. And then I wanted to save the relationship, so I let her do it. And just like I let her do, I want to save the relationship, so I let her kill my cat with a 22. But I have let go and love of that nightmare I was in. She seriously needs mental. She's like, she's mentally ill, okay, because of her low self-esteem. But I got into the relationship because I had no self-esteem. Now, what I've learned in the last 8 months almost, and it's out of a book. It's called The Portable Therapist by Susanna McMahon. She's a psychiatrist. She got a doctorate in psychology. And the one simple concept in the book, The Portable Therapist, which is in the link in the description, in a link in the description of this video, you can get the book. I highly suggest you get the book. It's in the link, and the one simple concept that you can attain self-esteem on steroids if you do this one simple concept. It's called mirror therapy. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. And then say it every day. And then the other thing you say in the mirror, I love my inner child. I'm going to take care of my inner child, and I will never, ever harm my inner child, because we all have it's inner child. And the thing about the inner child, it's basically your emotions. It holds all your emotions and will not let you have your emotions unless you parent your inner child. That's what she calls it. And we all have one, whether you're a man or woman. And it doesn't progress past the age of 2 years old. You get older, but your emotions don't. It protects your emotions. I don't know exactly how it all works, but it's all true. And this is what she teaches in the book. And you have to parent it to take care of your inner child. And you can't have self-esteem. You can't attain self-esteem without parenting your inner child too. And so it doesn't ever progress past 2 years old. So it's like you got a 2-year-old living in you unless you parent it like a kid. I mean, I don't understand it, but that's what she went to school for. So she knows. Okay. Anyway, so you look at yourself in the mirror, say, I love you. Say, I love my inner child. I'm going to take care of my inner child. Those two things. Then get the book, but say it every day, and don't tell anybody you're doing it, because they'll think you're nuts, and then you won't do it. They'll say something to you, and then you won't do it because they told you, oh, I don't know where you heard that, but it's all crazy. Whoever told you that's out of their mind. Okay. So anyway, you can get a hold of Douglas Bickford at 753@gmail.com. But get the book, folks. It will save you from a life of misery. I mean, you will feel the difference. You keep saying that in the mirror. You're going to feel a difference in you when you get around people. And the thing about self-esteem is you can't love or be loved without self-esteem. You can't have a healthy relationship without self-esteem. And that's why their divorce rate's like 75%. Because both people have no self-esteem, so they both are like got 2-year-olds running around inside of them. That's why you fight and drink alcohol and do drugs and smoke pot and drink tons of caffeine, because caffeine's a stimulant, makes you feel better. That's why you smoke cigarettes. That's why you do psycho drugs. And this is the way they want us to be. They're training. They don't want us to have self-esteem. That's why they come up with every commercial. They're always coming up with new psycho drugs that you don't need. Okay. Because they make money off of it. And that's why it's on TV, a fake doctor telling you to take a psycho drug. And then that's why at the bottom, at the very fast stuff that they say, right? At the end of it, well, all the side effects. All the side effects, and it can kill you. And it does kill you. Because they don't want us to have self-esteem because then we buy their drugs. That's just one of the reasons they don't want us to have self-esteem. But nobody's teaching self-esteem on the internet except for me. I'm it. Put down everything you've been taught. Churches, television, your friends, your mom and dad, your grandparents, they don't know. Most of them don't have self-esteem because they've never been taught self-esteem. And that's why I'm here teaching self-esteem. And those two things that you do, if you do it and you say it, and you keep saying it, it will give you self-esteem, self-love on steroids. Period. And I don't want anything from you, unlike 100% of the other videos on YouTube. They all want your view. They want to sell you stuff, and they all do. I'm talking about the Lisa Romanos, the good-looking women talking about narcissists and personality disorders. And they got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, plus hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. Lisa Romano, Terry Cole, and the so-called, she's not even a doctor, it's a fake, she's lying. Dr. Romani, right? If she was a doctor, she wouldn't be on YouTube talking about narcissists. Okay. They lie to us about everything. Okay. And then if you notice, all those women are perfect. They are the narcissists that they are trying to tell you to fight against. And you can't fight against a narcissist. You have to, if you're with one, get out and get self-esteem. And I'm a teacher of self-esteem now. So anyway, this is the next. I'm going through chapter by chapter. Sub my videos, like my videos, share my videos. Going through chapter by chapter, and continue to watch me if you want to learn self-esteem and how to keep it, how to get it. But get the book, The Portable Therapist, in the link. Read this book for yourself. You'll see what I'm talking about. Why do I hate? This is chapter 78. Hatred can be conceived as unresolved anger, unfulfilled needs, and unacknowledged pain which have been externalized onto another person or situation or internalized into ourselves. We tend to hate people who harm us or withhold what we want or need. We hate people who victimize us. When we are victims, we hate ourselves for being weak and powerless. We hate the concept of unfairness because it makes us feel hopeless and out of control. We hate the fact that we cannot be perfect, and we hate our vulnerability in the world. And the reason we hate that fact we can't be perfect is because of the television. Because the TV is telling you that it is a perfect world out there. It's an illusion. And the way you can get away from it, turn it off. Click. We begin by hating others, and we end by hating ourselves. The problem with hating is that it is pervasive and creates a vicious and self-destructive cycle. It is the opposite of acceptance. No matter how deserved the hatred may be towards someone else, our hatred is part of ourselves and eventually turns against us and destroys our own spirit and self-esteem. It is very difficult to love ourselves unconditionally when there is hatred inside of ourselves. Hatred is like the rotten apple in the barrel. Unless the rot is removed, it spreads to all good apples. The best way to deal with hatred is to resolve the anger, fulfill the needs, and acknowledge the pain. Accept that you hate and work on letting go of this hatred. Do not waste your time and energy justifying why you hate or in denying that you do hate, and do not look for support of your hatred because you will probably find it. Hating something or someone will never change the thing or the other, but it will change you in a destructive way. Stop focusing on the thing that you hate and refocus on yourself. Look for the other feelings that comprise the hatred. Become aware of the sadness and anger and the fear that you are involved in your hating. Now, I have let go in love against my ex-wife, and I've said it daily. I let go in love of everything, all of everything that's happened to me in my past 65 years. From this moment forward, I have let go in love against all the bad that people have done to me over the over the years. And there's been a lot of it because I never had self-esteem, so I was always attracted to people that don't love me and just try to destroy me. All 4 marriages. Okay. I have self-esteem now, self-love because of this book and because of that one simple concept that saying I love you in the mirror and saying I love my inner child. So you got to let go of the hate, folks. It doesn't do any good. But if you're in a toxic relationship right now, get out and get self-esteem. I kid you not. It'll never end. Fix yourself like I have fixed myself. Anyway, look for the other feelings that comprise the hatred. Become aware of the sadness and the anger and the fear that are involved in your hating. Acknowledge these feelings, but do not try to control them. Remember, you cannot control your feelings, but you can control how you express them or act on them. If you feel sadness in your hatred, cry. Grieve what you're missing and let the pain pass. It will, once you have dealt with it. Do the same with anger. Yell, jump up and down, beat up your pillow, write angry letters that you'll never mail. Share your anger with some neutral or supportive person who encourages you to feel without acting rashly upon your feelings. Anger, like all your feelings, will pass if you acknowledge it and let it go. It will become impossible to hate if you no longer feel anger or sadness or fear or neediness. What is left to hate when you have taken care of your feelings and needs? If you hate someone because of the way that person is in the world, then you're involved in judging behaviors. You are saying that you are right and the other is wrong. You are good and he or she is bad. You know and the other does not. The Western model is based on boundaries, perceived values, and criticism. It holds the assumption that we can achieve perfection and that we are in competition with others. The Eastern model, the being model, makes no assumptions. It is a model of acceptance. We are what we are, and everyone else is what they are. We are only responsible for ourselves, and when we hate, we are responsible for our hatred. We cannot control anything except ourselves, but we can choose to stop hating. Others will not change whether we hate them or not. There will always be the pain and injustice and unfairness in the world. Our hating will only add more negativity to the world, which is already overloaded with destruction. Our acceptance and lack of hating may not change all the negativity, but will change our own. We may not be able to clean up the cesspool, but we do not have to add to it. We can let go of hating. It does no good. It's powerful, chap. Powerful book. I mean, this book will change you. I'm getting goosebumps because this book is so powerful. I believe it was written. She was inspired to write it by God. I really do. Because if you do the two little simple things and you keep at it and keep saying it, I'm telling you, when you get around people, you're going to feel a difference. Because we're here. That's like one of the main reasons we're on planet Earth is to have social, they call it social interest. You have to have self-esteem, self-love before you can have social relationships with other people and love relationships, romantic relationships. And the Western training model, which TVs, radios, newspapers, Facebook, all the social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, are teaching us that we need to love somebody before we love ourselves, and it doesn't work that way. I don't know why it's like that. That's the way it is. That's one of those things that maybe I'll find out later when I die. I don't have no idea. But I know we are all connected. Never, never give up saying I love you and I love my inner child in the mirror. Say it more than once. The more you say it, the more you'll believe it and the more you'll feel it. And your attitude determines your direction. And I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I am not. Douglas Bickford, have more later for you. All have a great day out there. Douglas Bickford 753 at gmail.com for anybody that wants to contact me.